And I remember I felt like so guilty for waiting on people, for waiting. Like, I was like, okay, let's wait for them, let's just grow together, let's just change together. Whether it was in relationships or in family dynamics, and but still, I feel like something was missing. Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode from my podcast, Heal, Develop, and Expand, with your host, Elisabetta. I'm literally so excited to start today. And why? Because this episode is literally connected to the previous one, which is about your social circles just dictating and showing you how your life is, how your mindset is, and how literally everything around you works. So, this topic is going to be related, so I really recommend you, if you didn't check my previous episode, go right now and check it out because it will help you to understand this episode. And again, if you're new here, make sure to click that follow button, subscribe to the podcast, and let me know how you're doing because I really want to reconnect with all of you who are listening, who are all over the world. Just let me know how you're doing. So, as an introduction, let's get back to the topic, right? So I think this started like back or like 3 4 months ago when I was growing. Obviously I'm still growing, we all are. um but it really came to me this pattern that it was more evident and I really had to face it. That's why I'm talking about it after facing, obviously. And it's basically this thought that, do I have to sacrifice my own beliefs, my own mindset, my own path, my career, whatever, in like and do I have to keep like all this old school, like I wouldn't say like old school, like these people that have these old beliefs that they don't want to change and they don't want to heal. Do I have to like keep this status quo just to be around them, just not to be lonely? And this thought, it came to me again and again and again because as we grow, especially if we come from an environment where we go through daily abuse, our main goal, our main aim is literally not becoming our parents, not doing the same mistakes our parents did, and not having the same environment that we went through, right? So our entire lives is just growing, evolving, expanding, becoming the authentic versions of ourselves after trauma, especially. Now, if you have like more or less a healthy childhood, you can do the same, obviously. But this is a more prominent, like dominant pattern I noticed in people who experience trauma, generational trauma, narcissistic abuse. And in all the people that I've been networking with, making connections, and that they are also like business owners, I haven't met a single one who didn't experience some kind of struggle. Even if it was like abusive parents or toxic relationships, maybe they went through depression, maybe they went through, this dark night of the soul where you are faced with all your shadows and you need to literally face yourself. Like, you need to stop running away from yourself. Every single person, they had a specific experience that literally shaped them into who they are right now, and they had the same thing I'm talking about, which is basically, before I was kind of like forcing myself to be with people so they would accept me. Like, I was people pleasing basically. And I was doing things that I didn't like. I was doing things that I wasn't passionate about. I was a top 8 student, like always the top marks and everything. But I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was living my life. And this is something that I came to realize and I deeply appreciate in myself and in other people. Like, you really have to have passion for your life. if you're like a zombie, like waking up like, oh, no Monday, oh, I'm depressed, I don't have any motivation, whatever. Um, I'm sorry, but this is not the type of person I prefer to hang around with. Obviously, if you're here to grow, I'm all for it. I support you 100%. I'm your biggest cheerleader, whatever. But most people I met, it's like 9 to 5 jobs they don't like. They are just there for the money, just to survive. They don't really question if they can really enjoy their life to the fullest, and they think they can't because they have all these cards to the table and they're like, oh, this is what I have, this is what I need to use. Anything else outside of the box, it's not possible for me. And they don't even know how wrong they are, but again, this is their experience and this is their lives. And you shouldn't, force them to grow out of it. But for my path, for my journey, and for my priorities and preferences, it's not something I very much like in having people around me. So, this is basically what I saw in this last few months, like around February, March, and in this month. And also that in April we had like lots of eclipses and full moon and new moon and everything, and all this chaotic energy going around. Even if you don't believe in this, but if you're an empath and you're sensitive to energies, you might have, like, most probably notice all this collective energy like going around. It's really crazy right now. But again, as I was growing my business, as I was like getting busy with clients, coaching calls, discovery calls, whatever, and also with my team, um, I was really like thinking about my life and the differences that I have, for example, with people I know from university and the people that I'm making new connections with, more aligned connections, people that have similar mindset than I do, than I have. And I was really thinking, I'm feeling left out. And this means that, for example, the other day, like they were discussing that they will be having this birthday party and whatever. Obviously, I wasn't expected to be invited because we don't really hang around much nowadays. But I had like mixed feelings about it. From one side, I was like, nah, yeah, I'm not going to go now. Like, it's such a shame how it went. Like we were all so connected at the start of the degree, and now that we're all ending, it's really like I was feeling lonely. Like, let's be honest about it. I was feeling lonely. I was like, didn't think about me. But in the other side, I was like, so what? These connections are not aligned with myself, with my mindset, with my life anymore. I have another type of life, and it's okay. It's okay. It's totally okay if they are not thinking about me or they think like, oh, I'm too busy, then, hanging out with them. Because, I also have trust in the universe. I have trust in God, and I know that some people come and go and some others stay. And, even in the future, others are going to come, and you're going to be surprised because of how positive, like how aligned the not positive, how aligned the energy is, how you connect like almost instantly as if you're soul family. It's so amazing. So I had like this moment, like this brief moment of, oh, such a shame. But then I quickly turned my mindset and I was like, you know what? I have better people coming my way. And then again, the other issue that was, this is like the new thought that came, but the other issue that was for this previous month is that I was thinking about the same group of friends that I had in university, and also like the people I knew from high school, and how we slowly just drift out and we just lost contact. Some even like ghosted, and which I don't appreciate, but it's fine, really. It's their life. I was like part of me, an unhealed part of me, which I'm working on with quantum healing. She felt abandoned. She felt abandoned, and like my inner child was like, do we have to reconnect with them? Do we have to like pretend that we like the same things, or like even to be around them, just so we don't feel lonely, just so we don't lose them? But I quickly understood that this is not the way, because I was like forcing myself to just to let go of my authenticity, of my truth, my own truth, just so I could fit into a social group. And this is what I've been doing my entire life. I'm not doing this anymore because I realize the more I sacrifice my own values, the more I sacrifice my own beliefs, the more like I was starting to feel dead. I was starting to feel like a zombie. I don't even know how people go around their entire lives doing whatever their parents, for example, or what society or what the government tells them to do. Obviously, there's like special cases where if you're like in a life or death situation, you really have to think about it. But if you're in a culture like modern society where you have like some choices, I really think that you can use your cards in a really smart way to create and manifest the life of your dreams. So you literally have no excuse. If people like me and like other people coming from trauma, they really get to therapy, they work on their problems, their wounds, their beliefs, the scarcity mindset. If they can do it, so can you. So there's like literally no excuse about this. I'm like, oh, I can't because A and B and C, whatever. So there was no excuse about this. But like part of me was saying, do I really have to force myself to sacrifice my own beliefs, my own values, just to stay with them? And coming back to this, I really think it's a subconscious belief that it's in the collective consciousness of humanity. Like, it's, I think it's more dominant in women because we have been educated and taught that we literally have to succumb to, other, let's say, men, like their wishes and their commands, when this is not a healthy way of surrendering, this is not a healthy way of the feminine surrendering to the masculine, because in this case there's no masculine protection. But anyway, we have been taught like to do whatever everyone else is telling us, and to literally sacrifice our dreams and our hopes and our goals, basically just so we could be accepted, so we couldn't be abandoned. Because if we do something else, we are abandoned from our group, from our social group. And it's really like it really comes from the prehistoric times. If we are abandoned, if we're left out, we can't survive, right? But it's still in our reptilian brain, like it's still there, it's still this belief. But I tell you, it's really hurtful, especially in relationships, in romantic relationships, where you find yourself, you're really like going to huge lengths, you're growing a lot, you're expanding. Maybe you're a business owner and your partner is like searching for a job, or maybe, I don't know, they have like a 9 to 5 job, and you really want to grow a lot, and you're meeting all these new people, and you're feeling like this change, this difference in frequencies in the mindset. While you are healing your wounds, your partner maybe it's like still stuck in this victim mindset. They complain a lot. They really don't do anything to change what uh they came from, because we all have trauma in a small way or in a big way. It really depends. So, yeah, and not only in romantic relationships, it can be in friendships as well. What I told you, like, it happened, and maybe in family dynamics, you're really forced to face yourself and be like, do I need to let them go? Is it okay for me to let them go? And many times, like, our soul, our ego, especially our ego, it just cries. It just cries because it can't imagine the idea of moving on and embracing the unknown. But you know what? Sometimes you have friends that are used to complaining a lot and they're really toxic, and they sometimes they don't even realize they're being toxic. But you tell them again and again and again, and they don't really do anything about it. And then you really have to put boundaries with them, and it really hurts. It's painful, but you really have to respect yourself first. I learned this as a business owner and entrepreneur. One of the most important things is you have to face your own trauma, and you have to put self respect first, self love. And also, like, by the way, it's really beautiful in a way. It's really beautiful how when you're building a business, you're facing your shadows, you're facing your trauma. So you see like how building a business it's connecting to healing your trauma. It's so interesting, to be honest. But yeah. And it's also, by the way, it's also like this belief that, oh, but we need to wait for our people. We need to wait to go with the same path. We need to wait, like, oh, let's grow together. Again, this can happen a lot in relationships, but sometimes it just comes to a point where the distance between your growth and your healing is so huge that you don't connect anymore. And then guilt comes. Then guilt comes, like, you're like, but I want to wait for them, right? Because unconditional love, because I love them so much and I know that they will do it. But hey, there's a difference between loving potential and loving the actual actions of what they are doing. And sometimes you really need to stop living in your fantasies, whether you're a man or a woman, and you need to face reality and you need to see, hey, are they doing what they say they are doing? Or are they just like making promises and they're just saying, oh, I will do it, I will do it, I will do it. Yeah, don't worry, I will do it, I will do it. And they don't do anything. And this happens multiple times. And you feel all these emotions, which is totally okay. It's normal to feel them. You might even feel betrayed because they tell you one thing and they're doing the other, and this doesn't match up. And you really want the person that has integrity, that follows their words with actions. We have this guilt to let go of a person that is no longer aligned with us, whether it's for a short time or like forever. And I think this is something that we have to normalize, like really normalize letting go of people that no longer serve us. We have to let go of this martyr complex, of this savior syndrome, that we have to wait for people and we have to save them and we have to fix them. It's not our job to do so. And listen, I'm telling you this as a narcissistic abuse recovery coach, as a trauma recovery coach. If you have like your own business, it's very common at first, especially if it's coaching business. It's very common at first to be like wanting to save literally everyone. But at the end of the day, you will end up realizing that some people just don't want to heal. Some people don't want to change until they hit rock bottom and until they are ready. And if you're here so far and you're resonating with everything I've been telling you and you had like similar experiences, remember to hit that follow button and let me know what experiences, like what did you had that made you listen to to this podcast? Was it like a relationship? Was it a relationship with family members? Was it even friends? Let me know. Like, you can even message me on my Instagram account. I love reading your messages. Like, basically, I really wanted to understand that it's totally fine to grow, to expand, and just to evolve in speeds that people around you cannot catch up. It's your life. It's not your responsibility to wait for people to grow with you and to heal with you. It's not even like your responsibility to save those people and to be like, hey, I can fix them. Because usually, if you think that you can fix or heal someone, it's because usually in your family dynamics, you grew up with emotionally immature parents and you really wanted to help them, but you couldn't. And it's not your job. Now you have this wound that you really have to heal because you're having people that say that they need your help, but many of them they really don't, and they just want to take off your energy. And again, it's not your responsibility to save everyone. The basics of unconditional love is first fill your own cup and first self respect. Love yourself first. This is what I've been learning so far. Because with a fixer savior mindset, you really can't um, grow to your life of your dreams, you know? So, just to conclude this episode, hope you really are enjoying it. Hope you really found the keys and the clues that you've been seeking with, and like really, I really hope that this helped you to find the answers that you've been searching with. Again, don't forget to check my socials. Don't forget to message me. I'm really curious on what you're going through and if you're having similar experiences to my own, especially because of these eclipses and all this collective chaotic energy vibes. So yeah, and also if you're a narcissistic abuse survivor, if you are going through generational trauma and you resonate on also being a healer and you really want to get through this and come as a phoenix, I have a special 3 months intensive program which will help you a lot, and I really recommend you to check it out. The link is on my Instagram, on my page down below. And yeah, just have a look. I have also an exclusive free group on Facebook, which it has like lots of resources. And this, like, it has workbooks, it has master classes, trainings. These are all for free. So you have an idea of what tools, what methods, and what exercises you need if you have been struggling a little bit on your healing journey. Totally recommend. All my clients having like amazing results because it combines Western psychology and Eastern energetic practices. So, yeah, that's it. That's it for today. Again, thank you so much for listening. See you in the next episode and let me know what you think. Bye. Sending so much hugs. I love you all.